Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Emma, and today we're going to talk about a topic that everyone experiences: daily routines.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tom, and I'm excited to discuss daily routines with you. They play a crucial role in our lives, helping us manage our time and stay productive. So, let's start by asking our listeners, what does your typical day look like?
That's a great question. Tom, daily routines can differ greatly from person to person. Some people have strict schedules, while others prefer a more relaxed approach. Sharing our routines can inspire our listeners and give them new ideas for their own daily lives.
Exactly. Let's share our routines. I usually wake up at 6:30 a.m. What about you, Emma? What time do you get up?
I wake up around 7 a.m. I enjoy my morning slowly and prefer to take my time. After waking up, what's the first thing you do, Tom?
The first thing I do is make my bed. It gives me a sense of accomplishment right at the start of the day. After that, I drink a glass of water to rehydrate. Staying hydrated is so important. What about you, Emma?
I love to take a quick shower first thing in the morning. It helps me feel refreshed. After my shower, I usually have a light breakfast, like oatmeal or yogurt. Speaking of breakfast, do you have a favorite morning meal, Tom?
I enjoy a hearty breakfast. I often make eggs with toast. Breakfast is important because it gives us energy for the day ahead. Vocabulary tip: breakfast refers to the first meal of the day, breaking the overnight fast.
Exactly. After breakfast, I like to check my schedule for the day. Do you have a planning routine, Tom?
Yes, I check my emails and make a list of tasks for the day. I find that writing things down helps me stay organized. How do you plan your day, Emma?
I use a planner to jot down my tasks and appointments. I also like to set aside time for studying English every day. Regular practice is key. Do you have a study routine, Tom?
I do. I dedicate about 30 minutes each day to English practice. I often watch videos or read articles to expand my vocabulary. Vocabulary tip: vocabulary means the set of words in a language. Improving your vocabulary is essential for better communication.
Great strategy. I also try to read for at least 15 minutes daily. It helps me learn new words in context. After studying, what's your next step in your daily routine, Tom?
After studying, I start work around 9 a.m. My day is usually filled with meetings and project deadlines. What about you, Emma? When do you begin your work?
I usually begin working at 8:30 a.m. I like to get a head start on my tasks. During my workday, I make sure to take short breaks every hour to stretch and clear my mind. It keeps me productive.
Taking breaks is crucial. I do the same. I often have a quick snack around mid-morning. Healthy snacks help maintain my energy levels. What do you like to snack on, Emma?
I enjoy snacking on fruits like apples or bananas. They're easy to grab and nutritious. After my morning work session, I usually have lunch around noon. It's nice to take a break and recharge. How about you, Tom?
I also have lunch around noon, and I try to eat a balanced meal, like a salad with some protein. After lunch, I like to take a short walk to refresh my mind before diving back into work.
That sounds wonderful. Walking after lunch helps with digestion and clears the mind. After my lunch break, I typically focus on bigger projects. I find I'm more creative and focused in the afternoon.
I think that's common for many people. I prefer tackling more challenging tasks in the morning. If I have something difficult to work on, I save it for that time. Do you have any tricks to stay focused during the afternoon, Emma?
If my energy starts to dip, I do a quick exercise or take a moment to meditate. It helps me reset and focus better. I also keep my workspace organized, which makes it easier to concentrate.
Great idea. I like to listen to music while I work. I often choose instrumental music because it helps me focus without too many distractions.
That's a smart strategy. After a busy workday, I usually finish up around 5 p.m. I love to unwind by cooking dinner or watching my favorite shows. How do you relax after work, Tom?
After work, I often go for a run or hit the gym. It's a great way to relieve stress and stay healthy. After my workout, I have dinner, and on weekends, I like to try out new recipes.
Cooking can be such a fun and rewarding activity. I also find it enjoyable to explore different cuisines. After dinner, I usually spend some time reading or watching a movie before heading to bed.
That sounds nice. I also like to wind down with a good book. It helps me disconnect from screens and prepare for sleep. What time do you usually go to bed?
I aim to be in bed by 10:30 p.m. to get enough sleep for the next day. Sleep is vital for our health and productivity. How about you, Tom?
I try to go to bed around the same time. Getting enough sleep helps me stay focused and energized. So, Emma, let's recap what we've discussed today about our daily routines.
Sure. First, we talked about the importance of morning routines, like waking up early, making the bed, and having a nutritious breakfast. These habits set a positive tone for the day.
Next, we discussed planning our day and how we both prioritize studying English. Regular practice is crucial for improving language skills.
Then, we explored our work routines, taking breaks, and staying focused during the day. It's essential to recognize your peak productivity times.
Finally, we wrapped up with how we unwind in the evenings and the importance of a good night's sleep to recharge for the next day.
Exactly. Daily routines can vary widely, and we encourage our listeners to reflect on their own routines and see what works best for them.
Yes, remember, small changes in your routine can lead to significant improvements in your daily life. Try adding a new habit and see how it impacts your day.
Before we wrap up, let's dive a little deeper into our evening routines. Tom, what do you typically do after dinner?
After dinner, I usually take some time to relax. I often watch a TV show or a movie. It's a nice way to unwind after a long day. Sometimes, I also play video games with friends online. It's a great way to connect with them, even if we're miles apart. Do you ever play games, Emma?
I do enjoy some casual games, especially puzzle games. They help me relax and also challenge my brain a bit. After my screen time, I like to spend about 15 minutes journaling. It helps me reflect on my day and set goals for tomorrow.
That's a fantastic practice. Journaling can be a great way to organize thoughts. What do you usually write about?
I write about the highlights of my day, what I learned, and any challenges I faced. It's nice to look back and see how I've grown over time. Speaking of learning, do you have any tips for our listeners on how to integrate learning into their daily routines?
Definitely. One effective way is to set specific learning goals. For instance, you can aim to learn 5 new words each week. Write them down, use them in sentences, and try to incorporate them into your conversations.
That's a great idea. Another tip is to immerse yourself in the language. Watch movies or series in English, listen to podcasts, or even follow English-speaking accounts on social media. It helps you learn naturally and keeps you engaged.
Exactly. And don't forget to practice speaking. Find a language partner or use language exchange apps to practice conversation. It's one of the best ways to improve fluency and gain confidence.
Yes, speaking is such an important part of language learning. Remember, making mistakes is okay. It's all part of the process.
Right, and to add on to that, I suggest setting a time each day dedicated solely to learning. It could be 30 minutes after lunch or right before bed. Consistency is key.
Absolutely. Creating a habit can help reinforce your learning. Now, let's take a moment to encourage our listeners to share their own daily routines and learning tips. How can they connect with us? Tom?
Listeners can connect with us on social media. We'd love to hear about your daily routines and how you incorporate learning into them. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search for English Learning Podcast.
And don't forget to check out our website for additional resources, including vocabulary lists and practice exercises related to today's episode.
Yes, we want to support your learning journey, and those resources can really help.
As we wrap up, remember that establishing a daily routine takes time and effort. It's okay to start small and gradually build on your habits.
Exactly. The important thing is to find what works for you and stick with it. We all have different rhythms and preferences, so make it your own.
Well said, Tom. Thank you all for tuning in today. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more learners like you.
Until next time, keep practicing your English and embracing your daily routines.
See you soon, everyone.